RY. I represent District 5 on the Charlotte City Council, and I'm chairman of the Environment Committee.
Oh, okay. And I take it you'll be marching in the Labor Day parade?
I'm marching with fellow council members in the Labor Day parade today.
Right. And what does Labor Day mean to you?
Well, to me it means recognizing that all work has value and that the people who do that work are valuable.
Yeah.
I grew up, my father was a truck driver, and he drove for Thurston Motor Lines, which was not a union company. But I had an uncle who drove for Pilot Motor Lines, and that was a union company, and he was a Teamster. And we used to sit around the dinner table at night talking about how nice it would be if my father could get a job with a union company so that we could have health benefits, so that we could have dental care, so that we could have a retirement plan for the future of this family. That's what I think about.
So what would America be like today if there were no labor union?
Well, we'd be working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. So if you enjoy your weekends, thank organized labor. If you enjoy pensions and retirement plans, thank organized labor. If you enjoy work benefits on the job, thank organized labor.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm a United Auto worker.
Yeah.
I worked for General Motors for 24 years, and the only reason I was able to retire was because Obama saved the automobile industry. So now that I'm retired, I'm below retirement age, but I was able to get another job in the automobile industry through a company that transferred from a foreign country to Charlotte, and they build electric hybrid buses. And they are hiring a lot of people.
Every time I think of what I want to
That's because of the policies that Obama is putting forth.
With the UAW, United Auto Workers, Local 2404, out of Charlotte.
Okay.
We actually work for General Motors plant here in Charlotte. It's a small parts warehouse.
Okay.
We service dealerships throughout the southeast, but we're on Local 2404.
Okay.
I'm the financial secretary for the local. He's a retiree, and he's a retiree, recent retiree.
Okay.
We have a lot of retirees.
Yeah. So, tell me, what does Labor Day mean to you?
Labor Day is Labor's Day to get the message out that without labor, nothing would happen, really, nothing. We do the work, and it's our day to celebrate that work.
Yeah.
I feel.
Sign says,
Yes.
labor creates all wealth.
Say it again, please.
I said, like the sign says, labor creates all wealth.
Labor creates all
Wealth will
wealth.
not create labor, but labor will create wealth.
Yeah. That's great. So you're going to be marching the whole route today?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
Good morning. Okay, no problem.
I'm Jill Stein. I'm the Green Party candidate for president. And, you know, I'm in this race to give everyday people a voice. We have a movement out there for democracy and justice, for clean air, for health, for jobs that support working people and that also support the climate and the environment we need to have a future.
I'm sure.
We can do this, and there's a win-win out there that both creates jobs as well as saves the climate. We call it a Green New Deal. So my campaign is in this race to give everyday people a voice in this election and a choice at the polls that's not bought and paid for by Wall Street.
Are you actually on the ballot in North Carolina?
Well, North Carolina is one of a handful of states that has extremely repressive, anti-democratic ballot access rules. So unfortunately we are not, but you know, we have a Green Party here which is fighting to change the rules of ballot access for everybody, to make it possible to actually have an election that speaks to our needs and that isn't bought and paid for by Wall Street. So I encourage people to go to my website, jillstein.org. Even if you can't vote for our campaign here, you can help us win the day by ensuring that this campaign provides a voice for all the people who are struggling for clean air, for jobs, for tuition-free public higher education, for health care as a human right, for downsizing the military and bringing our war dollars home to actually support green jobs and the transformation of our economy to a green economy that will make wars for oil obsolete and that will also ensure that we can put a halt to climate change as we revive our economy, not back to what it was before. And that's what both the Democrats and the Republicans are talking about. More of what got us into this crisis to start with. They don't have a new idea, you know, on the horizon out there anywhere. They do not have an exit strategy from these incredibly devastating crises that we are facing. So we're saying it's time to turn the breaking point into a tipping point. The biggest way people give up power, to quote Alice Walker, the biggest way people give up power is by not knowing they have it to start with. We actually do have it. We have the facts on our side. We have justice. We have truth. We have values. And for the first time now, we also have public opinion. Because to look at public opinion polls, people support by substantial majorities in poll after poll exactly what we are talking about. Creating jobs, saving the climate, rescuing education and a generation of students who've been turned into indentured servants, creating healthcare as a human right, taxing the rich, cutting the military, and bringing our troops home. We can have a win-win-win solution for all of us. Right now we're on track to lose it all, but we could have it all if we simply stand up and say we're not going to take it anymore. Like they did in Tunisia, like they did in Tahrir Square. It's time for us to do that. It's time for working people to help lead the way, because working people are in the target hairs more than anyone in this economy where 1 out of every 2 Americans is in poverty or is low income and heading for poverty. It's not working for any of us. The political predators out there are trying to scare you and tell you that you dare not stand up, but in fact it's time to reject the politics of fear. It's actually brought us everything we were afraid of. All those reasons we were told to be quiet, so we wouldn't get a president who would expand the war, who would expand the Wall Street bailouts, who would expand those free trade agreements that send our jobs overseas, undermine environmental and labor protections. All those things we've gotten in droves because we allowed ourselves to be silenced. This is a public relations campaign to essentially silence political opposition. It is the voice of democracy and the public interest which is the real driver of political change and political transformation. So no matter who's in office, we are far better off if we have a resilient and unrestrained political movement that is putting the real demands and the real solutions on the table and driving us forward. That is the win-win. Together we cannot be stopped. Go to jillstein.org and let's take back our democracy and our future. Thank you.
How many states are you on the ballot?
We are on track now to be on between 40 and 45 states, but they include all the high population states. So between 90 to 95% of voters will actually walk into the voting booth
I'm Mary B. McMillan. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of the North Carolina AFL-CIO. And on this Labor Day, I'm out here with union brothers and sisters to bring the message that workers are the center of this economy. We create jobs. We're the drivers of the economy. We built this country. And it's time that we quit being second-class citizens in a country that we built. We have workers going homeless in the shadow of buildings they constructed. Workers going hungry, surrounded by food they produced. That's unjust. It needs to change. And so we're out here with the message that workers created this wealth. We need to share in it, and unions are needed now more than ever to help rebuild the middle class.
What would America be like if we didn't have any unions right now?
It'd be a whole lot worse than it is right now, because we have seen that as unions have declined, so has the middle class. And so it is time to restore workers' right to organize and collectively bargain.
My name's Philip Emmons, and I work at the UAW plant, Freightliner, in Mount Holly, North Carolina.
Okay. Where's Mount Holly?
That's it's right on the next side of Charlotte. Oh, get a stick or two.
Ah, there you go.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, about 10 minutes away.
I know, right?
Okay. And what do you manufacture at that?
The class 5 and 6 big trucks.
Oh, okay. It's a GM plant.
No, it's owned by Daimler.
Oh, Daimler Chrysler. Or it's not Chrysler anymore.
Or Chrysler sort of by themselves now.
Okay.
But at one time, yeah.
All right. And so you'll be marching in this parade today?
Yes.
And tell me, what does Labor Day mean to you?
Labor Day is a continuation of what started in the 20s and 30s when people finally banded together and stood up against a lot of things. At the time, back in that day, the supervisors, managers of these plants, they were gods. They hired and fired at will. And when people banded together and stood up for the first time to set down strikes.
Can I get one of those wonderful stickers, the hugger?
And that's what it's all about. It's if you depend on companies to do the right thing, sometimes they will, and there are good companies out there. But for the most part, if the workers have no say, then it's they do what they want, and that's why labor's so important.
So what would life be like today if there were no labor?
I think by having labor in the area, it makes jobs, even non-union labor plants, it increases their pay just because there's union plants around.
Paramount Park. Obviously there are barriers.
How can unions be pro-Obama? I don't get it.